I'm excited for today's chat. The girl I'm speaking to today is a PR visibility hype girl. She's the founder of Quotable, based out of Boston. And this girl, she's going to tell us the nitty gritty of exactly what's going on today in PR. She's the editor in chief. She's got a podcast. Alessandra Polina, thanks for coming. Welcome to Opportunity.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
Awesome. When I think of PR, I think of Samantha Jones and I think of newspapers and not having to wait in line for things. And what I really want to know today is, what is PR today? Because it seems like we're in charge of our visibility and it seems like we've got all the tools that we need to succeed, but PR still exists. So what is that today?
That's a great point. I mean, you can do so much of it yourself today. I feel like that's like what you are kind of getting at, is like we have the tools. A lot of business owners, like, we're savvy enough, we have the expertise to be able to put ourselves out there. You've got social media, anyone can start a podcast, anyone can have your own like email newsletter, you can build an audience and you can put yourself out there. So there's a lot you can do. But the difference is getting yourself placed on other platforms. So it's not really your own social media. It's not really any of your direct marketing platforms and tools that you might have. It's really more so you speaking on someone else's podcast, or you pitching yourself to be in an article in a magazine or a newspaper that, you don't have the control over. You are going to pitch yourself for an interview, and it's going to be published the way that they want to publish it. You're not the one writing the article, but you're getting the access to an audience that you wouldn't otherwise have.
Yeah, it's definitely something that, even though you've got the ability to do, you don't even know who you're supposed to be reaching out to. And whenever you're trying to do it on your own, you're not consistent enough. So there's definitely reasons why PR agencies exist. The girl who's at the level where she's trying to level up, to really understand the power of PR and to really understand why she should be focused on finding a partner like a PR agency or someone like you that can help her do that. What's the first step?
It's about getting in front of new audiences, right? So you can do a lot on your own. It could be those collaborations or partnerships where you even are just creating a partnership to come on someone else's show like this, or even like some kind of cross promotion on someone else's social media platforms. So sometimes you can start with relationship building that feels really doable, because I think people are sometimes like, I just don't even know where to start. I don't know who to reach out to. You can join business groups and then like see where there's opportunities for cross promotion within those. I think, and what I say is, it really does come back down to relationships, and you can use your relationships to the best of your ability, and you can build those relationships from scratch. It could be a relationship with someone who's starting a podcast that you would love to be on, and you can literally just DM her and say like, hey, I'm loving your show. Like, I would love to be a guest if you're looking for guests, and here's XYZ, what I would offer your audience, what I can help talk them through, things like that. So it's really about thinking about how can you be a great resource to these other audiences. As the host, the editor, the writer, you want to be a resource to them and their audience. So it's coming at it like, I guess the first step I would say is thinking about what you really want to be known for, but also how that's going to be helping the people that you want to get in front of. Because that's, at the end of the day, what they want to hear. That's what they want to know, is how are you helping them? And then you approach it through that lens. But getting really, really clear on what that thing is. Because if you're just reaching out to people and saying like, hey, I'd love to come on your show, or like, I'd love to do a social media share with your audience, or I'd love to do an interview in your magazine, but there's not really a very clear reason why, or like information on what exactly you're sharing that's going to help them, it's going to be a wishy-washy conversation. They're not going to have a real reason to say, yes, I want to have you do this. Let's make it happen. And that's a response that you want to be able to elicit.
Yeah. So I think before you even take step one, it's like step negative 1 and 2 are essentially being of service, actually caring to serve the people around you, to serve that whoever's hosting you and their audience. And even before that, being very clear on the value that you bring.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And since we're even going back, see, it's a hard question, because sometimes people, they want to hear step one of like, how do I actually start the outreach? But I agree with you. I would take it back even one step further. The very first step is really, really going into the mindset piece of it. Because you'd be surprised how many people come to me and they think they're ready to put themselves out there, or they know that they need to. They know they need the visibility because they know that's the next step in growing their business, which they do want to do. But when it comes time to actually send that first piece of outreach, like make that first ask, there's this mindset piece that you really have to get behind first, which is I'm ready to put myself out there. And again, it comes back to what you said about being of service. You have to really believe in what you're doing. You have to believe it's in service to other people and that they need to hear this from you, and not let yourself get caught up in that mindset that so many of us end up holding ourselves back with, of like, kind of like the who am I to put myself out there? Like, why would they want to hear from me? Or like, I'm going to sound like I'm bragging about like myself and what I do. There's all kinds of mindset blocks that people come up around putting themselves out there, especially for the first time. So that's actually step number one, is the mindset, making sure you're actually really feeling ready to put yourself out there, feeling that confidence in what you're doing and how you're going to help people.
There's so much to it because we all want eyes on our business. Everyone wants to be known for something in particular, but you also still need the time to have the repetition to gain the experience. I know it's time to level up. I feel called to level up. So I'm wondering, in your professional opinion, what is being ready versus imposter syndrome?
No, I know. And I know there are so many people who are experts in their field and they're already so successful in what they're doing and they still feel imposter syndrome. So I don't know if there's any one right answer for that. But what I would say is, I think you have to keep in mind, you're not an imposter if you're doing the thing, right? You are doing it. If you have clients or you have customers, you're doing the work and people are getting results, right? At the end of the day, that's it. You are the person who's helping them get from A to B or A to Z. The only reason I think that we feel that imposter syndrome, it's not that we don't think we can do the thing we say we're doing. Look at the facts, look at the information. What have they actually accomplished and gotten out of working with you? Assuming you're actually already doing this. This is your business. You've been doing it. You are an expert in what you're doing.
It's so true. So essentially, if you've got the facts to back it up, it's time for PR. I want to know about a time that an opportunity arose and you took it before you were ready. I think that those are the chances that change your life.
Yeah, to come to the first one is just like literally taking on my first client, but maybe that's too far back. But I had never had a client before, like on my own. I had done this though through other companies, and I had worked at a really small agency where I was really doing almost all the same things that I would, and they took a chance and hired me. But yeah, I kind of would say that because that was like my very first just like leap of like literally going to talk to somebody in person and being like, yeah, I do this. Do you want to be my client? I didn't say my first client, And again, I had experience. Yeah. I could show them I showed them the results. This is what I do for other similar brands. This is what I can do for you. And they were like, okay. They didn't ask like, oh, how long have you had your company? Or how many other clients do you have on your own? Like they didn't ask any of that. So really just, having the audacity to go in and pitch yourself and say, here's what I can do for you. Do you want this? And like people say yes, people do want that. The other thing I was going to say too was launching our own magazine, because I really felt like we should have a platform that we have full control over. I always pitch other platforms and magazines for my clients, but I'd be the one getting to decide what we're covering and getting to do the interviews and getting to tell these stories in the ways that I know that they're meant to be told. And so we did.
How long has the magazine been up and running, and what's it like being editor-in-chief?
We technically launched at the very end of 2020, so that seems literally impossible, but we're in like our 6th year.
Wow. Yeah. That's a long time.
Honestly, I love the creativity of it. I love PR. You're getting to really help people get out there and tell their stories. But the thing that really frustrated me was not actually having control over those stories. Cause you pitch something and then someone else is doing the interview, right? So I just really love the creative control of being able to be like, let's really showcase these people in the way to just really allow them to shine. And like my whole mission is to elevate and amplify female founders' stories and share the motivation that we can get from each other. Like when I get to really dive into someone's story and like how she's done it, that's like so motivating to me. I'm like, wow, if she can do that, like I can do that too, kind of thing, you know? And I just love to share that. And I feel like sometimes some of that gets lost, or like, honestly, I just felt like there weren't enough publications and outlets that were just doing that type of just deep dive into somebody's journey, into somebody's story. You know, a lot of outlets want to have like news and, you know, really have it tie into something timely and like the hard news, like, is there a big launch happening right now? And like, a lot of the times, like we don't have a big launch going on in our business. And that doesn't mean that it's not just really valuable to get to share our stories or get to really showcase like what we're up to. And so my favorite part of actually getting to be the editor-in-chief of our own publication is just really getting to decide what's in there and who do we get to showcase and what is that going to look like, and really just being like the outlet that people want to be in and can be like, hey, I was just like featured in this magazine, like I am on these glossy pages. And to me, that's just my favorite part.
Since you like to deep dive into people's stories, I want to know, what's your story? Why PR? How did you get started?
Great question. I did this from like while I was in college. Like I'm like one of those rare people, I feel like, who actually like chose a major in college and like stuck with it and like created a career out of it. Like so many people I talked to, because I talked to a lot of women in business, like started somewhere else and kind of like made a pivot or a shift. And I'm like, this is just where I started. And the reasons really were, I was interested in journalism. I've always loved like the idea of working for a publication. Like I always loved magazines and all of that. But when I was in college, it was like the early 2000s, like 2010s era, where everyone was like, print is dead. Like, you know, no one's ever read a newspaper again. Like basically people were like, journalism's dead. You should not do that. And so I was like, okay, I'll not do that. And also I was thinking, I was in the School of Communications. And so I really just took like different classes to see the different like opportunities and stuff. And I didn't love the idea of like advertising. I didn't want to feel like I'm selling something to people all the time. And what I really loved about PR was a different mindset. It's like you're not really selling something to people, but you're letting people know what is out there if it's something that they might resonate with. So I see it more as like connecting brands with the people who need them. And I really liked that there was more of like that storytelling aspect, and I really saw it as building brands more than just being like, hey, buy this product that you might not need kind of thing. So that was really what drew me to it. And then I had a bunch of internships in college, and I got just a lot of different experiences at different types of companies, different agencies, in-house at larger companies. And then, yeah, when I graduated, I ended up with a job I didn't really love. In-house, I thought I wanted to do like in nonprofit, like PR in-house at a nonprofit organization, which I still think I would have loved, but it was just not a great, the situation I ended up in was not a great work environment. And so honestly, I called up my friend, someone who I had interned with, who I had like kind of stayed in touch with and become friends with. And I was like, do you have any work for me that I could do with you and your clients? Because like I really need a change. And he offered that I could come on part-time to help him with some of his work. And that's really where it came from, because it was like basically 4 days a week. So I had a whole extra day where I had more time. And he was really supportive of like, basically I was like, what if I do one on my, like do a client on my own eventually, like after I'd been there for like another year or so. And so, yeah, like within a year of graduating college, I went to this client and I was like, hey, I could do the PR for you for your opening. And that was how it all happened. I didn't like sit down and create a business plan and like plan for months to like.
I think it's great though. I think it's such a testament to your talent that you've been doing it for years, and you really haven't dabbled in other industries and other different expertises. It's kind of good that you know that, what you know, and that you've done it for so long.
I think yeah, I think that's sort of like a secret to the success, because I know a lot of people kind of like do shift gears a lot, or I honestly think a lot of people like really overthought what they wanted to do like in college or even just afterwards. And they spent so much time trying to be like, what do I love? What is my passion? And changing jobs so many times that it's like, then they were already 25 or almost 30 and like didn't really have a great footing. Whereas like by the time I was 25, I already owned my own company, because I was just like, hey, this is going to be the thing I do. And I just went all in on it. And
So
I
good.
wasn't like, oh, this is a huge passion of mine. I was just like, I enjoy this. I do like it. It doesn't have to be my whole life, but this is something I like to do and I'm good at it and I can do it. And I just kind of got more into, honestly, like I love building a business. I love just being in the world of entrepreneurship. I love being around other female founders specifically. That's where like then the magazine and like hosting my own podcast came from. And I would honestly say those are more my passions than actually doing the PR tech.
Yeah.
And so I was able
It's your
to kind of
creative
pivot.
outlet.
Yeah, yeah. And if I had spent like 10 years just trying to figure out like what that passion was, like it never would have made sense. I never could have launched my own magazine if I didn't already have like the successful agency behind it. So I just think sometimes
Mhm.
going for it and like really digging in and deciding to become that expert and deciding to really be known for that thing. Like that's like, because now people refer me, people I've known for 10 years who I met at like an event or at like a networking event, or I used to host, I still do, but I started hosting like coffee meetups for female founders like 10 years ago. And
Mhm.
now they're becoming clients or they're referring someone who will be a client. So that I think is like the magic of it, of like having just been like, let's just do this and getting that
Yeah.
longevity in and that those years of expertise.
I love that. I love that that's your story. And it is super rare to hear that someone has been doing the same thing that they went to school for and all of that. So it's cool to hear that story.
Thank you.
As we wrap up, what is some advice that you could give to a girl who really wants to be seen today?
I think you just have to do it. I think that it feels harder. It's kind of like where to start. But really, like if you sit down and just try to think of 3 people that you could reach out to today, I bet you have people in your network who either can help you with being seen more or, they know someone else. Like think about who your connections are connected to and don't assume that people won't want to help you with this. Like, I think we have to do it all on our own or that people won't want to help. But more often than not, like if you ask someone like, hey, I'm looking for a connection to, get myself on more podcasts. Do you know of anyone who hosts one? Like most people will want to help make those connections for you if they're your friend or, someone that you know in the space. Like people do like to be that connector person. So don't overlook the connections that you might have, like that might even be like a connection to a connection. But I think it does come back to just get really clear on what it is that you are offering, even if you haven't done it for 10 years. Like I don't want to like also deter anyone by that. Like you can be an expert, you can have done it for 1 year, you can have had one really great client, but really distill down what makes you unique. What is it about the way that you do what you do that makes it yours? Create like a formula or like a framework. If you can create a framework, which really it just means distill down the way that you do something. And again, I'm not the only one who does PR. I'm not the only one who pitches people to get them featured on podcasts, in magazines, on shows. But if I can tell someone, here's a framework that I can use to like tell you how to do this and make it work, people will be like, oh, cool. Yeah, like I want you to come on my show and tell me how to do that. And so, like, if you can distill it into a framework and pitch it that way, that's going to help you get featured more places a lot easier. So that would be like my one little quick piece of advice.
It makes it easier for you to communicate what it is that you're going to say when you do get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that advice of you probably know somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't be shy to say the same thing over and over again, too. Have one thing that you want to be known for and don't be like, I feel like I'm saying the same thing on every like podcast I go on. That's the point. You want to be known for the one thing that you really talk about.
It's so true. It's so good. So, yeah, the repetition is key for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, Alessandra, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate everything that you've done to be on this interview. I can't wait to see what we do together because I'm pumped up. You've got me pumped up for the PR that I'm going to be doing this year
Yeah.
in my business. Yeah,
Me
for
too.
sure.
Okay, yeah, let's talk more about that. Happy to
Tell everybody where they can find you.
find me on Instagram. I feel like that's where most people are. My personal one is I am Alessandra Polina. I also have Quotable Media Co. if you want to follow the business, and we have Quotable Magazine as well. I'm trying to do more on LinkedIn. So if you're a LinkedIn girly, follow me there, connect there. The website is quotablemediaco.com, and you can always email me directly too, which is just Alessandra at quotablemediaco.com.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you.